Going on, Falcon fan? This is your boy Rakundo come back at you with another video. So today, training camp day 9, the last practice of the week before they go on a break, and then get ready for the Detroit Lions coming up next week. So, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys are here to talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in here to talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So like I said, guys, finished the week off strong. The head coach said he was pleased with what he saw from the team today. It's a lot of competition. He said it was real physical out there. That's what you want to see on the last day before you take a break, right? Last day of the weekend, going into the first preseason game. He talked about anticipate all the guys to play if they're healthy. That's one thing that we going to look forward to see the change from last year from Arthur Smith. We know a lot of his starters did not play in the preseason last year. He already mentioned that all these guys going to play. He want to see what they're all about. I think that's a good because we're going to have these guys ready to go on September 11th. Sometimes you have to learn, right? Trial by error. His first time being the head coach, he thought about resting a lot of guys. Looked like they was not ready for game one. I don't think that's going to be the situation this year for Arthur Smith. Um, he talked about they asked him what some of the things that he's seen. He talked about the linebacker room, um, how much competition in that linebacker room. We know it was going to be that way when Foye Olakun left the team. Deion Jones is currently on the pup list. We got Rashaan Evans. We got Michael Walker filling in for that starter role. We got the rookie Troy Anderson. We got Nick Kukowski. We got Doran Etrich. We got Nate Lehman. So it's very a lot of competition in that linebacker room, and you gotta love it. So it's going to be very interesting to see what these guys are going to be able to do during the preseason. That's what it's going to boil down to. We talk about and we know we pump up this team training camp, how physical it is, how much competition it is, and all this stuff. But they got to be able to translate that onto the football field against other opponents. That's what we want to see, and we definitely going to get our chance to see that here on Friday. I can't wait to see what these guys going to show us on Friday. Like I said, he did mention everybody's going to play, so um, that kind of take the mystery out of it. Some of these guys might not play a lot. I mean, some of these guys we already know they're gonna be ready to go. Grady Jarrett, Jake Matthews, guys like that. You definitely got to see both your quarterbacks play. It's just the way it is. You got to see what. Of course, they came in the training camp, talk about the competition. Even though Marcus Mariota looked like he's going to be the starter, however, you still need to see, especially what Des is going to be able to do while he's on the field. Once again, some of the guys that stood out in practice today. I guess it's getting a little bit redundant talking about Kyle Pitts, but once again, he just looked like that unicorn that everybody talked about last year coming into this league. Second year, always talk about they jump from year one to year two. It seemed like Kyle Pitts is definitely on track for that. And then another guy that we keep talking about, which is kind of rare because this guy is like on the outside fringe of making a roster at the position. But Felipe Franks once again is flashing um, at the tight end position. But what's really remarkable about what Felipe Frank is doing, you know, he's going to be that third quarterback going in until the preseason. So these guys don't have to play the whole game. So he's playing both positions. Artemi mentioned him again. He loves the way um, Felipe Franks is going out and trying to be unselfish for the team, doing whatever it takes to do with the team. You guys, you look at what the New Orleans Saints do with Taysom Hill. I know it's a different body type, but things like that. But Felipe Franks did play in the SEC Southeastern Conference. He played quarterback at Florida and at Arkansas, so he does understand the physicality. But he's looked like a natural at tight end. So when I looked at my projections back earlier this off season, and I did not have Felipe Franks making the team, I think I'm gonna have to relook at that. I think he's gonna make the team just a mere fact because he can play that emergency quarterback, and like I said, guys, he's just flashing at tight end. So being able to do multiple things on the team is definitely gives you a leg up on a lot of other players that's one dimensional. So got to go back and look at those projections and see about somebody like Felipe Franks and see if he was actually he's gonna bring to the table. We heard from a couple more guys. In particular, we heard from AJ Terrell, who's just been playing lights out all camp. I can't wait to see him go up against some other receivers and see if he can shut them down the same way. He pretty much been locking down our receivers all camp. We heard from Jalen Hawkins. It was a good interview from Jalen Hawkins. They talking about and they emphasizing, which I think is very important when we emphasize talking about you one of 11. If that one do his job and all 11 do their job, um, the outcome is going to be the results they want. So that's what you got. Like you like to get, got like to hear from these guys, drilling in their head, their mindset. Um, that secondary, those two safety, definitely young. But I think being in the second year of Dean P system is definitely going to help them. And then being anchored on the outsides with Casey Hayward and AJ Terrell is going to help them out a lot as well. Um, I just really love where we see from this defense. However, I think the offense won the day. According to our beat reporters out there, it looked like the offense was just clicking on all cylinders, especially that first team offense. Marcus Mariota looked good today. Like they did a lot of more read option plays when they running the quarterbacks. That's definitely what we need to see from our offense to get these defense a look. Because remember last year we had a lot of issues with containment of running quarterbacks. We got a couple running quarterbacks this year that we're gonna have to play. Of course, we got the Niners, Trey Lance. We got Lamar Jackson. So it's going to be some guys that's going to be trying to get out of pocket and run the game. So definitely the way Dean Pease work, he play game to game and things like that. So the first game of the season is really all about James Winston to start the season. But moving forward, everybody that we play, we need to be ready for those guys. And I think our mobility of our quarterbacks is definitely going to help us in that aspect. We did get some injury news today. Another defensive tackle, Bryce Rogers, Ricky, went down today. He had to get carted off the field. So that's in the last couple weeks of training camp. We have lost two defensive tackles. Um, I'm sure that they still saying it may not be a concern because they like some of the young talent that we have, but that depth at the defensive tackle when we started the training camp into where it's now, it's starting to get thin a little bit. So they still have not made a roster move when Vincent Taylor went down. Now here's Bryce Rogers. We don't know how serious the injury is yet, but he did get carted off. So just anticipate him being out for a long period of time. But it is some guys that if they want to go get some veteran guys to bring in to fill into that that defensive tackle role, that there's some guys that's still out on the market they could bring in. Of course, it's all about the culture, all about the fit. These guys got some kind of chemistry going now. They all like each other. They're playing well, so you don't want to disrupt that. But there's some guys out there. Adama Sue is still out there. So if they want to bring somebody like that in, we already know how talented he is. Of course, yes, he's 34 years old, but bringing a veteran like that, to go in to sit beside Grady Jarrett could be beneficial. Linval Joseph is another guy they could bring in. Larry Ojanobi was a guy they could bring in. Sheldon Richardson and Danny Shelton. Just some defensive tackles that's still out there. It's more than that out there. If you know somebody else, you guys got some ideas, somebody they could bring in. Definitely, they could be considered as well. But I'm just looking at this defensive tackle room, and right now it's Anthony Rush and then a couple undrafted guys that's back there. So we definitely have to see what the intentions with that. They haven't made any roster moves on Vincent Taylor. And now with Bryce Rogers going down, that's just like I said, it's thinning out more and more. Yes, it's helping these some other guys be the next man up, but um, that experience, especially in interior line, being able to stop the run, that's what we want to see. So the last thing I want to talk about today is just the fact that when we look at this roster and you take a step back and you think about it, and I like something that Jalen Hawkins mentioned, and Marlon Davidson mentioned as well, and in his little press conference he had today, is that it's different this year than it was last year, and I contribute that to just the number of new players, and new faces that they have on this team. If you just look at, um, let's just start on the defensive side of the ball. Um, Most of all our outside linebackers are new, except for um, Okendeji, right? Arthur Smith mentioned this as well. That whole outside linebacker is new. Um, our defense inside is fairly new. We have some, yes, we still have Taquan Graham, we still have Marlon Davidson, but we don't have John Kaminsky. We don't have Tyler Davidson anymore. We don't have Stephen Means still on the team. Dante Fowler is not there. It's a lot of guys, so it's a young, um, excited, um, talented group of guys coming in. Um, look at the linebacker core. We already talked about them. The secondary, bringing in Casey Hayward, guy like Dean Marlowe, um, Mike Ford, guys like that. These guys coming in, bringing that energy, bringing that competition, and it could be the blueprint. Bring guys in on 1 year deals. Somebody that have something to prove, guys that have chips on their shoulder, and you bring this intensity and this competition to your training camp. So you're going to get the best out of everybody every day, and everybody plays with that chip on, that chip on their shoulder. So, um, it wasn't the way it was drawn up. It was really forced because of the salary cap means and things like that. And they couldn't pay guys a lot of money, couldn't attract a lot of big name free agents. But at the end of the day, building this culture with these group of guys, I think is definitely really helping this team. We already is talked about being the worst team in the league. Um, Everybody's on the out, you know, probably discounted us, thinking we're going to have that number 1 draft pick next year. But just just being at training camp myself, looking at the competition, hearing from the guys every day is getting competitive. The confidence that you hear in these guys when they talk, Grady Jarrett, AJ Terrell, you can see the confidence in Kyle Pitts. You can see um, the opportunity that Marcus Mariota have. His mindset is trying to prove that he still can be a starter in this league. Um, you can see how Felipe Franks is laying it all out there, learning a new position. Being a quarterback, going to play tight end. You can see Richard Grant thinking he was gonna people thinking he was gonna be a bust 2nd round pick coming in and showing that what he can do. Um, you can see that competition between Drew Dahlman and Matt Hennessy, right, at center, that center position. All these things that we like. You can see the all the new receivers we got, the total new receiving core, that's there, to boost up the skill positions. Only things that's still intact for the most part is that offensive line, and we can already see changes there as well. These guys are bigger up front, they're bigger on the outside, they're faster in the backfield, they're faster in the defensive backfield, they're younger in a lot of positions. You can just see the the talent that could, and the potential that this team could have. And it, we don't know. We have to see it. Preseason will show be a telltale sign um of what this team can really be. To start off, just to look, give you some kind of idea. Detroit is a rebuilding team as well, so I think it'll be a good matchup for this team, to see where we're at. But it starts with, of course, building that identity, that culture, what Dean Pease was talking about. No longer would we want to be known as the team that everybody can get right. We don't want to be the get right team. And then it start down with the players. Jalen Hawkins mentioned that the coach is not on the field. If if you feeling for the coaches to get you pumped up, things like that, that's not what they want. So it's got to be the players. The players got to do their job. The old do your job, right? That's what we want to see. So guys, I like the direction this team going in right now. But at the end of the day, we got to see these guys perform on the field. Training camp is good. The competition is good. It's all talk. The highlights are good. Things like that. But until we see these guys go up against another team and show that they mean business and show that swag that AJ Terrell mentioned, um, we just don't know, right? We want to see that pass rush. We just don't know. We want to see if Drake London is going to live up to the number 8 overall pick. We just don't know. We want to see if the offensive line is going to be better than they was last year, being able to run the ball, right? We things we don't know. It's unknown, but the potential is there. I love the direction this team going in, and we never know what's going to happen. But it starts with Friday when these guys lace it up against the Detroit Lions. So guys, that's all I have. I'm fired up. I hope you fired up. Once again, good practice in day 9. They come back on Monday. Started prepping for the Detroit Lions. And last but not least, protect the team, stay healthy. And this is your boy Ricondo. Come back at you with another video. Peace.